everybody, I'm Joy Evans.
And I'm Alex Evans.
And we are actually doing a brand new series called, I guess we're still workshopping it, but called 3 Games You Can Print and Play Tonight and If You Should.
There we go. That's a very long title now that you said it out loud.
It is. It might fit on a thumbnail. I don't know.
Let's hope so.
Yes.
Yeah, to be determined.
So pretty much, here's the thing. I love print and plays. And mainly because, as a magician, I like lecture notes because lecture notes.
He has a problem.
It's like one of those things that people have these ideas they have to get out of their head, and maybe they don't have the resources or what to put them into a book, or in this case, make a huge board game or whatever. But this is their passion project. So I love print and plays. But that being said, I don't like the ones that are really difficult. You have to print and 3D print and all these stuff. So a lot of these are going to be ones that are easier to grab.
Correct.
So we're going to take a look at 3 games that you can print and play tonight, which is the cool thing about clicking download.
You can do it right now.
Right now. So
when this video is done, you can literally go download this and do this like 5 seconds after we've done this video. So that's pretty impressive.
that is. So let's get started and see if you should. Okay, so the first game we're going to talk about is kind of a cheat.
Yeah.
Because this is a print and play, but it's also a released game that we actually reviewed here on the channel.
Yes.
But the print and play is still available. And that is Fliptown. Fliptown right over here, we've got it printed right here. So we're going to show you a little bit about what comes in the print and play, and then come back and see what we thought about it. Okay, here's the print and play for Fliptown. Again, I'm not going to go over these rules at all. I'm just going to kind of show you what it comes with. This is Fliptown. I have printed these off and went ahead and laminated them, which probably makes them hard to see because we are going to end up playing this game a lot. So you do get 2 of these boards instead of being on 1 board. I don't know why I had that upside down. But you've got these 2 that are very easy to print and laminate. And you also get cards that you can print for playing cards, but you can just use a bicycle deck, which I do. I use a bicycle. Oh, these bicycle cards, you can buy them in stores. They just don't peddle them anymore. Ha! Okay. Yeah, so pretty much you're going to get these, both of those, and that's all you need really, unless you want to use the other cards, like you've got the bounty cards I've got printed off here, and then your other cards. You're going to get all of these cards as well if you want to print these off and use them. So that is what you get with the Fliptown, and again, you can look this up on the channel. Okay, so again, that's not a full overview because there is an overview already here on the channel about what we think of the game, and we love it. But how does this translate to a print and play? And the answer is it does great.
Absolutely. The first time I played Fliptown was actually as a game on the cruise. I played the actual physical copy of it. Loved the game. So I was wondering, how does it work as a print and play? And it works amazing. Yeah. You get the same experience playing the print and play for sure. Yeah,
it is just, you just need these and you need your deck of cards. And then, of course, you can also have the asymmetric cards to give different player abilities and things like that. But now, one thing I will say is because these are printed 2 different things, the text can be a little bit small.
I have found I had to circle the icons to remember where the diamond and because they kind of blend in a little bit, not a lot, but just a little bit. It was just something I just did just for my own quick, easy reference.
And that's before we laminate it. When you laminate it shows up a lot better at that dry erase. Now, not to go into full review of this game, but the whole thing is, if you like print and plays, this is roll and writes or flip and writes in this case. But this is a great game because there are so many different avenues of victory on this.
It's such a point salad.
Oh, it's great because you sit there and you can go over and you can get to the Badlands and go and get a chicken, and then you can go over the mine and you go to the cemetery. There's so much to do in this game. This is highly recommended if you're looking for this style of Western game, or if you've seen our review on Fliptown and you don't have it yet. Grab this. $5, and I think it's available on PNP Arcade. Okay, so now I know Christmas in July is some big thing because 6 months before Christmas is July, and people are like, let's do Christmas in July. Well, we can do Halloween in May because that equals the exact same thing. Because
it's halfway to Halloween according to Disney, so we can talk about Halloween now.
I think we're good. I think we're good. So we're going to talk about Roll and Fright. That is kind of based on Ghost Love Candy 2. Right, and this is Roll and Fright. And Roll and Fright comes with 3 different games. Now, before we go into it, let's quickly see how these games play. Okay, we are set up for a game of Tricky Treats right now, which is from the Roll and Fright series. This is one of 3 games you get, and I'll go on the other 2, but they all play fairly similar. All you're going to need is this sheet right here and 2 dice. So pretty much what's going to happen is you're going to play this over 16 rounds. which you see right up here, the round tracker, and you are going to get the most victory points right over here. The final score is made. You get points for all the candy. You're going to get 5 points per candy bar, and you're going to lose 5 points for every kid you scare away. Scare away kids? How do you do that? Well, let's actually go and see how you do that. Here's where the game is played. Somebody's going to roll both dice, just like this, hopefully not that poorly. But now we've got 2 dice. So one of these will be used to collect candy, and the other one will be to scare a kid. So let's say we're going to do this. 2 is going to be collect candy. I can go to any of these 2s and decide what I want. Well, let's see here. Let's get a sucker. So I mark this. Boom, boom. Just like that. I've marked that off, and now I have gotten a sucker, and I mark that right over here. And then the other one will be to scare a kid. So I go through, and there's the 6 right here, so I have to fill this in, and this kid is a little bit closer to being scared. Now, what does scared do? If I ever go to this moment right here, then at the end of the game, I'm going to lose 5 points for that scared kid. But also, once he's scared away, he's obviously not there anymore, so I can't use these to collect the candy. So then at the end of this round, I'm going to cross this off because that was my first round. Now, let's go into a bit more of the kind of more fine-tuned things of this. That's pretty much how it plays, but you're going to notice different things along the board. Like I said, this stash, as you go further up, these are going to be the value. So if you go all the way to here, then you're going to mark 28 points in that peppermint. If you go all the way up here, so 10, 6, all that stuff, you're going to put those in points. But you'll also notice down here, if you get 5 X's in this track, then you're going to get this reward, which is a star. Anywhere you see a star is something you can then X off a candy on any of these kids' spots and get that candy. So it's kind of like a free X. And then you've got the same thing here. If you get 5 of these, you get one of these rewards. The pyramid and the cauldron we'll go to in a moment. Then 4, 4, 3, and then all these rewards. So now let's go over here into these different abilities that kids have. All these kids are a little bit asymmetric. But for example, if you go ahead and get both of these, then you can circle this bone. And you get to use it anytime you want to. For example, this one is you get to, if you have a circled bone, you X a circled bone when doubles are rolled to cross off an additional candy from your choice in the stash. So you keep that in your back pocket, so if these ever show doubles, you can cross that off, and then you can get another candy. All of these guys have different abilities like this. Then I think the vampire gets to change the candy you earn to another candy instead. So they all have different abilities there. Now, this witch here has a cauldron, so then you can mark off one of the candies in the cauldron, and then you can go ahead and add that candy over here, and the mummy gets to build a pyramid. If you complete these rows, you're going to get candy bars. And you can also get different cauldrons, like I said, from here or from here, these bonuses. Now, bonuses, what is this? We have not talked about this. Well, also you'll notice, in addition to their abilities up here, there are going to be different things attached at the bottom. So if I was to complete all 3 of these, I would get a pumpkin. And then I'd come down here and I'd mark off the pumpkin. And in typical fashion, if you complete these rows right here, you're going to get to choose one here. Or if these columns, you're going to circle that and you're going to get a candy bar at the end of the game, which is worth 5 points. So that's it pretty much. You're going to collect candy, move this up, make your candy more valuable, get some bonuses, hopefully get some candy bars. You're going to do that over 16 rounds, and at the end, you're going to add up your final score, and you're going to see who won Tricky Treats. Now, like I said, this is the first of 3 games that are included in this. They're all very similar, but this is the kind of the more difficult, although it is light. This is for 12 and up. So this is Tricky Treats. You also have Haunt the Block, which is this one right here. It's a little bit lighter. This is made for people 10 and up. And then you've got even simpler Boogaloo, just like this. And this is made for 6 and up. So these right here are going to be very similar rule set, but they kind of simplify the rules as they go to a little bit lighter games. But pretty much that is how you play Tricky Treats from Roll 'n Fright. Okay, so that's it. That's again a quick overview about Roll 'n Fright.
Yes.
Now, Roll 'n Fright, we got and we printed a couple times, and our daughter loves the starter one of this.
Oh, for sure.
Boogaloo.
I was going to say, one thing I really like about this is that this is a great family game. Like, if you want to just play a game right now with your family, you're not sure what to play, go get this game because there are all levels of the family can play this game for sure. You know?
Yes, and this is what we mentioned when we had a
Yes.
podcast, and somebody came up to us at a convention like, hey, thank you for recommending Roll and Fright. So this is one I want to
Yes.
bring back up if you're looking for a good one, because all three are good depending on the age.
Yes.
But we actually played these with 2 other adults.
We did.
And we all sat on the table and really enjoyed this.
This was just a fun. It was just a fun game. We had
It's
so much fun playing this.
Very easy, very quick. I mean, it's just you
Oh, yeah.
roll dice, you go at it, and it's quick, it's thematic, it's light, and it's, again, $5. You look up Ghost Love Candy 2 Roll and Fright. It's by 25th Century Games. And if you like Ghost Love Candy 2 and you're looking for something a bit lighter and fun that you can play easily, then check this out.
Yeah.
Okay, and finally, our latest game, or our next game actually, is probably the newest game on the list. This is one I covered in crowd surfing recently, which is funny because a lot of times when you get a print and play in crowd surfing, people will like laugh like, ha, you backed your print and play. Well, you know what? I'm getting mine next week.
Yeah.
You're going to get yours in 3 years. Maybe. So this is Quest Over Coffee because it's also about coffee. I love me some coffee.
Me too.
So while we go grab a coffee, let's take a look quickly about how it's played. Okay, we are set up for a game of Quest Over Coffee right now. Now, this is a quick overview to kind of give you a feeling of the game. Again, not all the rules. But here we go. We're set up now. This is pretty much a game where you're going to be taking quests, completing these quests for victory points, which you see here on the side. And you're going to kind of do that over 2 rounds. There's going to be a quest phase, then a shop phase, another quest phase, and then final scoring. So let's go into exactly what questing is all about. First off, you can get a character. They have different characters here. They're lightly asymmetrical, but they are all going to start off with different amounts of, I guess, starting health and luck and money. Now, what you do with those helps you with your quest, which we will get to in a moment. Right now, I've got this guy marked. This is Jazzy. He has got 3 health and 1 luck and 2 money. That will come into play later. And your base roll is going to be 3d6, which of course you provide. And I would think you have some d6s rolling around. So pretty much we've got this set up here. We have got quests. So first off, you're going to go ahead and choose which quest you're going to go to. You have to save first. Let's go ahead and go. We're going to go this one right here. Now you'll notice there's some values here. There's 5, 13, and a check mark. This is going to be how to complete this quest. So this right here is, let's take a look here. This is a failure. If you're below 5 on your roll, that cake was actually TNT, you lose 2 health. Then 13, you have completed that quest. Yay for you! And you gain 2 health. And then you get to put this into your pile to count these as victory points at the end. And this is a special condition here. If you roll a 5 and a 6, you get to gain 1 money. So everything is going to have 3 of those. So, but you might wonder, what if it's between a 5 and a 13? Well, if that's the case, you do not complete the quest. You're not successful, but you also don't get the penalty, and this just goes away. So you have to roll, and you have to roll between a 5 and a 13. So here we go. Let's actually do this one here, because it's a little bit harder. So let's see here. Between 9 and 13, I roll. Wow. Very, very good roll. So let's actually say right here that I did not get that. I actually got 8 right here. Now is where all of this stuff comes in. I can use one of my luck right here to re-roll any number of dice once. So what I can do right here, I've got 1 luck. So there we go. I'm now out of luck, and I can take these 2 and re-roll them. And there we go. I have just completed this quest and actually went above and beyond. I got a 14. Now, what does money do? Money right over here. Money, I can pay money to roll an additional d6. The amount that it costs to roll an additional d6 is dependent on how many victory points or stars that quest has. So here, it would cost 2 money to go ahead and grab another d6 and roll that. And that's going to be important for the kind of the higher quests. So I could pay 2 and get another d6. Something else I could do that we're not doing in the initial game, you don't have to do, is you can also buy companions. Now companions are right over here. These are going to be face down, and you can use money to get companions, and they're going to give you different things here. So this is not a good one. Lose 2 health. And lose 1 money, gain 2 items. So now, that's the way you do quests. Now, one thing I have not gone into is items. You do start off with an item. you're going to get 2 items, and you get to keep one of those. So here we go. So these are my 2 items to choose from. This one is, let's see here, when this item is in your inventory, your maximum health is increased by 1. All right, and then this one, discard this item and gain 2 health. I like that. So we'll place this here. So that's the item I start off with. But what about health? Well, health, pretty much when you can go down health by some of these. If you ever get down to 0 health, you lose. Okay, so then you're going to go ahead and play the game. You're going to try to resolve all of these quests, either succeed or fail. And once those are all gone, you're going to go to the middle phase, which is the shop phase. And that is where you can get new items. So right here, you'll notice this shop card. You're going to roll 3 dice, just like this. There we go, and there we go. And then you're going to place 3 items out here. And those items are going to go 1, 2, 3. All right, and these are the prices of those items. And they all have to go out in order, so it's actually you can't choose to put the better one at the beginning. So 4 is the unlicensed plush toy. Then 5 is the leaky present, and 6 is the half a mask. So you can choose which one of these to use money to buy. Now, one of the things about the shop is this is one of the shops that are available. They also have other shops here, and some of them actually have a trade on there. In this case, there would be a random one placed here, and the 2 on the side can be traded for with an item from your inventory. So you can trade for those, and there's no cost, and the middle one is 5. One other thing about the items, too, is everyone has a max item they can hold. Jazzy here happens to be a max of 3. So you're going to go through, you're going to choose one of these items. If I did have enough money, I could grab the unlicensed plush toy here and put the rest away at the bottom. And that shop is over then. Now, these are going to do different things. They could be worth victory points. They could give you more dice to roll, different abilities like that. And then, say you've resolved all these quests successfully or unsuccessfully, then you're going to go to the next 5 quests that will have been under the shop card. You're going to lay them out, just like this. And then you're going to go at it and go and try to resolve these quests. And one of the things we did not talk about are environments. Those are optional, but these environments you can put on there, and those are going to kind of change things. Might make you roll less dice. They might be good or bad. And that's an optional thing you can add. So pretty much at the end, you are going to count up 1 VP for every star on all the quests that you kept. And then you subtract 1 VP for each quest that you failed throughout the game as well. And then you're going to judge yourself on how close your stars are to the quest you attempted. And the closer you are, the more you win. Or if you're playing 2 people, solo and solo, you compare to each other. And pretty much that's it. That's a quick overview of Quest Over Coffee. Okay, so that's quickly an overview about how it plays. Now, first thing, let me say, this is a very whimsical game.
It is very whimsical.
And the other thing is, this is a solo game at its core.
Absolutely.
But we did not play it that way.
We did not know.
Because although it's a solo game, you get a lot of cards.
That's one thing I was amazed about this game is that there's so many cards.
Right.
Which was fantastic. I was like, wow, you get so much for what you pay for in this game. It's fantastic. They did a great job. Wow.
Yeah, and this one right here is fantastic because we played solo next to each other, and then you compare scores at the end and see how you did.
Yeah.
And that makes this really enjoyable. And there's good mitigation. It's dice rolling, but there's good mitigation using the different luck and the money. You know, luck, I think it gets you to re-roll the dice. Money gets you to add dice. And then once you start adding things like the companions in, that really adds another layer to it, too.
Absolutely. I was going to say, at the core, though, this game is literally just a dice rolling luck game.
Right.
You know, there's a lot of luck to it.
Dice rolling luck game
I know.
is going to be a
Blah.
duck game.
I know. Blah.
A duck game.
There you go. That was a lot to say right there.
So it's really cool. And also, I think choosing the order in which you do the quest is more important than I thought.
Correct.
At first, I was like, I'm just going to go down the line.
No.
But then you can't. You've got to kind of say, oh, no, I got to do this one because I might waste my luck, or I don't have luck enough for that one, or money, so I'm going to do this one. And there's a little bit of like give and take and going back and forth.
Oh, absolutely. There's a lot of strategy because if you get some of those ones that needs a higher score, but you lose some dice or whatever because of different things,
right.
you know, you can get in a little bit of a pickle.
And, and a lot of the card draws that can be good good or bad.
Yes.
The items, you know, which is pretty funny having a bad item. And then you've got the shops that you can trade. And all of this in a very light solitaire game that travels well.
Oh, it does. It travels really great. This is one that I definitely think I can see taking to conventions to play with people. You know, I know it's a solo game, but playing it alongside them kind of thing. This was such. We had halfway through playing this game, we were like, I really like this game.
Yeah.
This was so much fun.
This is really good. This is one that we will probably travel with, and you can play anywhere. You just get it out and you go at it. And again, these are cards, and we printed them and put them into sleeves.
Yep.
So anyway, that is Quest over Coffee. Definitely one to look at too.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So those are 3 games you could take a look and print and play tonight if any of those look interesting to you. Also, if you guys are interested, we can show you a bit how we do our print and plays to make it a bit easier and quicker to hit the table.
Yeah.
Because there's a little things we found out from a couple years of doing these. But again, these are great. Just because they make them available to you to download doesn't mean they're not bad games. Some of these are really good games.
These are great games,
So,
definitely.
Give them a try. I'm Joy Evans.
I'm Alex Evans.
And we'll see you later on the channel.
Bye.
Hey folks, thanks for joining us for that video. If you haven't yet, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hey, make sure you check out What's Happening, where I'll cover an app on an iOS or a Switch device, and you can check it out along with me. Thanks very much. You've been watching The Dice Tower.